Hello and welcome to Dad Got This. We're into the tough questions like, can I make a paella for the very first time and not mess it up? And where does a shrimp go when it needs money fast? Second one's easy, the prawn shop. This video is brought to you by the fine folks at Victoria Cast Iron and their signature series of cast iron pans, specifically the paella pan. I've had these cast iron pans for quite a while and I've loved cooking in them, and I've cooked a lot of things in this pan since I've gotten it, but it's called a paella pan, so I figured I should at least attempt paella. I absolutely love paella, however, I have never made it. So, if you happen to be Spanish, please be kind to me, and maybe just give me some tips in the comments on things I may have screwed up or could do better. Let's get started. Not a whole lot of prep, so we're gonna go ahead and get one red bell pepper, which we need to dice. Not sure how fine of a dice we need, so just gonna kind of rough dice them. One diced pepper. We need to dice up some tomatoes. Probably about 2 of this size should do the trick. I always like to buy my tomatoes a little bit firmer if I'm going to be doing something like a dice on them, instead of like a super ripe tomato. Just makes your life a little bit easier. With tomatoes, a really sharp knife is always the best way to go. Honestly, a really sharp knife is always the best way to go for just about everything. Most injuries with knives happen when they get stuck and then they bounce or they slide where they're not supposed to because there's resistance, and then they slide into your fingers or your hand, and that's how you get cut. A sharp knife doesn't really do that. An onion, guess what? Diced. I'm going to test something. I was told in a comment that I waste my time with my cross cuts on my onion because onions have layers and it's wasted time and effort. You don't need to do that when you cut an onion. I think you do, but let's find out. So I'm gonna cut one the way I normally dice my onions. I go along the lines and then I run my knife through the middle a couple times depending on the size of the onion. There you go. And then just stand up for this one, it's a lot easier. Pretty decently diced onion. Now, let's do it without the cross cuts. Now they both worked, but in my opinion, that is a smaller dice than those. So, just depends on how much you want yours diced. 1 onion diced. Garlic, we need garlic. 6 big cloves minced. I'm gonna use a garlic press. Garlic and some parsley. This is just for garnish. At the end, we're just gonna rough chop this. And that's it. That's all the prep. You can put your knife away. I'm gonna do a seafood paella, so I bought a seafood mix packet from my local Wild Fork. It has squid, clams, mussels, and shrimp. It's frozen, I thawed it. It should be great. Now, fresh would be better, but I don't have access to super fresh seafood here, so flash frozen seafood is my better option. And then I have a pound of Peruvian bay scallops, also from my local Wild Fork. We're gonna take our pan and we're gonna put it over a medium heat. Add in a little bit of good olive oil. And the first thing that goes in this pan is your onion. Onion cooks down, so this should be fine. At this point, it's always good to add a little bit of your seasoning. I'm gonna add some salt. This will help the onions caramelize, and a little bit of pepper. We're gonna cook these for about, 8 to 10 minutes until they start to brown and caramelize a little bit. While those are going, we are gonna use the most important part, saffron threads. I got these off of Amazon. This teeny tiny jar was like 10 bucks. The nice thing about saffron is you do not need a lot. That's just a couple threads there. We are gonna also add some smoked paprika, about 2 teaspoons full, and 4 cups of chicken stock. You should probably use like a good fish stock, but I couldn't find a fish stock and I didn't have time to make it. So I think chicken will be okay. Now you wanna bring this to a boil. I'm just gonna do that in my microwave. Okay, I don't wanna burn my onions, so I'm gonna go down to a little bit lower heat and add in a little bit more oil. We're getting some browning, but I don't wanna burn them. We got right to that edge there. Just wanna be careful. Let's go get this in the microwave. It is now time to add in our peppers and our garlic. And we got some brown and caramelized looking bits on the onions there. It's probably too much garlic, but I love garlic. We're gonna cook these for probably like 5 to 8 minutes until they start to kind of soften and get browned up a little bit. Our chicken stock came to a boil and then I took it out. And we're just gonna kind of let this thing sit here and let that saffron infuse with the paprika. And I think the hot broth helps with the rice cooking process. I still got the pan on like a medium heat. We definitely don't want to overcook this, and we don't want to burn the garlic. It's only been a few minutes, but I'm gonna say that looks pretty good to me. Now we're gonna add in our tomato, which is gonna add some good moisture to the pan, I think. And we're just gonna cook this for a few minutes until they start breaking down, kind of. This already smells wonderful. It's time to talk rice. I'm using some Valencia short grain rice. This is supposedly one of the approved rices for paella, or if you can get your hands on something called bomba rice, that's supposed to be like the best. But this is what I could easily get, so that's what I'm going with. We need 2 cups of this. I am pretty happy with the way that that is looking. Time to add in our rice. And we want to stir that and get the rice kind of coated with all of this good stuff. Just cook it for a few minutes. Gets it infused with all the flavors that you just put in here. We'll let that go for a few minutes. That looks pretty good to me. Now, in with your saffron and paprika infused broth, a little bit at a time. Kind of put it in there. Get it going. It's kind of almost like making a risotto to me. Might be blasphemy to say that, but I've made some Italian risottos in the past. And that's kind of the same process. You put it in, let it absorb into the rice, and then go again. Bring up the heat a little bit. You want it boiling. At this point, I don't see it absorbing too much more in this stage, so we're just gonna go in with the rest. Give it a nice stir. And I believe that is the last time I will stir this. We're gonna bring it to a boil and let it simmer for like 15 to 20 minutes. You wanna get rid of all of the stock, almost all of it. Just a tiny hint of a bubble at the top. Seems like a lot of liquid to me. You may notice something has changed. I noticed that most of my boiling and bubbling is happening here in the middle of the pot. I didn't know if that's gonna be a problem. I think it was because I was using an induction burner, which really just kind of has that flat flame. So I switched to this one, where hopefully the flame is an actual flame and will come up around the sides a little bit and start getting something on these sides here. I don't know. I know traditionally it is cooked over a fire. So let's try that. I can already see this was the right idea. It has definitely started to bubble all over. I'm gonna lower this heat even more. I don't wanna burn this. It is actually starting to work pretty well. This has honestly gone faster than I expected. This has already soaked up most of that moisture. I don't really see much moisture. I hear some bubbling though. I'm tempted to just taste a piece of the rice to see how it is. I'm gonna do that. Ooh, that is just about done. I think we're ready for seafood. I've drained my seafood because it's frozen. It gets a little wet, and we're gonna season it with some salt, some pepper, and I'm gonna add a little bit of smoked paprika for color and flavor. I think that's good. Now, we are going to go ahead and just kind of nestle our seafood into here in like a nice arrangement. At this point, it is time to cover the pan and let it cook for about 5 minutes. So far, so good. 5 minutes is just about up. We're gonna go ahead and do our garnish, which is a slices of lemon. Let's see how we did. All of our shellfish looks nicely cooked. Let's try a scallop to taste for doneness. That is perfect. So I think everything else should be fully cooked. I do wanna hit it up. A little salt on the top. Okay, a couple of lemon wedges. A little bit of parsley for color. Last step we're gonna do to try and really get our socarrat is we're gonna turn this heat up to high for like 1 minute and then cut it off. This has been going for a while, so even these handles from Victoria are a little bit warm. And now we're gonna cover it for 5 minutes until it's ready to eat. Our 5 minutes is up. If we're going on looks alone, that looks pretty good. Let's see how it tastes. Did I get any socarrat? I feel might have burned the socarrat, but rice first. That's dang tasty. My rice is perfectly cooked. Let me try this crispy bit at the bottom, which is heavily browned, probably burned. Oh yeah, I burnt my socarrat. If any of y'all have a tip for how not to do that, what did I do wrong? Did I go too high a heat, too long? Although I'm very happy with this part. Very good. Try mussel. Nicely cooked, bit of calamari. For my first attempt, I'm pretty happy with it. Things I could probably do better in the future. I think I need to work on my heat control, lower heat, make sure I don't get impatient, let it boil out at a nice low heat, build that socarrat, and maybe skip that 1 minute high heat thing that I had found on one place that said to help put your socarrat. Maybe that's what burned it. I don't know. If you guys have some great tips for making paella, please let me know. Flavors, it's on point. It tastes delicious. I just wish it had a browned, not burnt socarrat. I want to thank Victoria Cast Iron for sending me this pan. Hopefully I can nail a better paella with it in the future. If you enjoyed this content, please do the likey subscribe thing. YouTube loves it when you leave a like. I love it when you leave a comment. I answer just about every comment in my comment section. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. You get early access to videos, behind the scenes, all kinds of fun stuff. But if you can't, subscribing would be enough. So with all that out of the way, I guess there's only one question left to answer. What do you call a shrimp that keeps getting hurt? Accident prawn. Yeah, pretty bad. Dad may tell horrible dad jokes, cook a decent paella, but one thing Dad will never do is an outro. So that's it. Bye. This is the part where I thank all of my members. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for your support, and rock on. I don't know why I said rock on, but rock on.